Well, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Lions of the Desert podcast. I'm Shoeshine Mike. Busy show. Busy show today. We're going to do our my first mock draft. So it ought to be a good time. So welcome to everybody. Now I also have to say too that on April 24th at 4 p.m. I will be at Detroit Coney Grill, Scottsdale, right at Hayden Road, 6953 Hayden Road, right south of Indian Bend. And I'm going to do the first round live from the restaurant, just like we're doing a regular football game, which I miss doing like you would not believe. I love being down there and just seeing everybody and having a good time. So what we're going to do tonight is the mock draft, my mock draft, and it's going to be a good old time. Plus, I'm going to keep you up to date on the Pistons, Lions, and Tigers. The Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers all have games tonight. In the fourth quarter, it's 113-106 Milwaukee, okay, over Detroit. And there's still 6.5 minutes left there. The Tigers, top of the second, no outs, no score. And then, let's see, where are my Red Wings here? La, 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 la. There they are. 3-2 Tampa Bay in the third with 17 minutes to go. So things don't look all that good. Now, the Pistons are in the playoffs. So, just win a few more, maybe get out of the sixth spot into the fifth. But the sixth, because you're playing Top Gun if you have to go to the sixth. I think they'll have to play Cleveland if they go to the sixth. The Red Wings, I don't know if they're going to make it. They have 78 games played. And points-wise, they're all tied. Like from the Eastern Conference, I think there are 11 teams that are tied. So it's down to the final battle. It just sees there are 3 games left. So we'll see how they do there. The Tigers have been doing wonderful. I don't care what anybody says about that. You take 3 out of 4 from the Yankees, and you sweep the White Sox, and you're doing well. The Tigers, Los Tigres Grande, doing very, very well with all of that. Okay, I'm going to open with this too. And let's go with we have some new subscribers. I'm going to give them a shout out. We'll start off with that, and then we'll start with the first round picks. So we'll start with those, and I've got them, in a certain order. A little bit of a break for everybody if they need be, and we'll go from there. Okay, it's always a good time. Let's clear everything out. Here we go. Now, what I want to do here is open with our subscribers. Detroit Coney Grill of Scottsdale. That's my home base. That's the place I love. That's where we do all the Lions games, and that's where all the good food is. You've got your Coney dogs, Fagel Rocket Rye, all the Fagel Pops. You got Werner's Pop there too. You've got the Detroit Coney dogs, Detroit pan style, not pan style, but Detroit. It is kind of a pan style, but the Detroit pizza is wonderful. David Nager, the owner and head busboy, just does a hell of a job down there and just does it well. The place runs wonderful. We always have a good crowd there. I would really love, especially for my subscribers, to be down there on April 24th. It's a Thursday night. It's the opening night, first round of the NFL draft. Come by, say hello, and do what you got to do in our chat. Okay, that'd be all good. Detroit Coney Grill. Now they just opened one too in Gilbert. In Gilbert, it's at 1422 West Warner. I talked to Dave yesterday, and he's very, very busy getting that one going. So we're going to take our time on that. We might do a trip down there. We'll see what happens. That would be very, very cool to do that. And that number in Gilbert, 480-272-9842. Should you want to call ahead of time, get some Coney dogs to go, let them know, find out what's going on, because they have the big TVs. All the sports are on. All Detroit sports are on anytime they're live. Just like now, he's probably got 3 TVs going crazy around there. The same in Scottsdale, 6953 North Hayden. And the number there is 480-597-4300. Detroit Coney Grill. Yeah, can't go wrong. Just like you can with this next one. Amy Quintera has started her own business. It's called JVN Cleaning. Now, they don't do with people living there, but if it's to get a B&B ready, or if it's after someone leaves, B&B needs cleaning, apartments, okay, businesses, small businesses, you've had a big event or you want it cleaned on a regular basis and you need a good cleaning service. JVN is good. I know Amy's work. I've known her for a long time. A very hard worker, and she has a good crew of people. Now, this could be any kind of cleaning, so long as it's not residential with people being there, all right? So if you have a warehouse, a factory, I'm going to ask QB Development, my next sponsor, if they would need somebody. But she's good, hardworking. All right, I would say give her a call. You want the apartment cleaned, what have you. But it's not with people living there. I don't blame her sometimes. I've done some cleaning in the houses, and it's just holy crap. But give Amy a call, 480-845-2320. That's 480-845-2320. And we have one more. And I'll tell you what, I'm gonna take my time and go with him. I'm gonna do QB development, but I want to take a whole section and talk about that. It's a faith based. All my clients are faith based, and QB development is over there and right behind Albertsons and Detroit Coney Grill, their offices, and all kinds of development. Okay, houses, building, contracting. It's just an outstanding business, and we're going to get to them. But I want to do that after I do some first round picks and get things going with that because it's just too cool, and I want it to go that way. Now, first round draft. I've looked over this a whole lot of things. There are a lot of edge rushers, and I know the Lions need edge rushers. It would not surprise me if they took two. It just wouldn't, because they did that with cornerbacks last year. They got Terrion Arnold, they got Ainias Rickensaw from Missouri, and Terrion Arnold from Alabama. So they're kind of that way. I don't see anything happening with Trey Hendrickson of the Bengals. They were talking about him quite a bit, and I don't see anything going on with that. So we'll take a look at that in a few more minutes there. Milwaukee's got a good lead on that. It's 3-2 still, Tampa Bay in the third, 17 minutes to go. But I look at this whole draft, and there's, I'd say 3/4 to a quarter actually defense. A lot of defensive linemen, a lot of edge rushers, a lot of safeties. So we'll get into that right now. But let's start off the Tennessee Titans. They have pick number 1. I'm going to go with the general consensus. I think they have more needs. I really think it'd be smart for them to trade out. And I want to get to number 2. I'm positive they're going to trade out. But the Titans want to go with Cam Ward out of Miami, out of the U. And it's not a bad pick whatsoever. A very good high targeting quarterback. His main point to me is his size and his accuracy. Plus, he's not afraid to take off and run. So that's one of the big things you see in quarterbacks now. They're not afraid to get up and run with the ball. So Cam Ward, we're looking at that at number 1 out of Miami, a quarterback. Here we go. Now, Cleveland's got 2 choices as far as I am concerned. Out of Penn State, you have Abdul Carter, probably the highest rated out of all these talking heads on TV and everything, but a very, very good edge rusher. You know, we saw him play us this year and very good edge rusher. Cleveland will pick him. He went to Penn State. Now, my call on Cleveland, and this is a big one, a team that has quite a few picks could trade up with Cleveland for a lot of picks. Now, if the Lions are really after somebody, there's a couple of people I really would love to have in this team, and Abdul Carter is one of them. But the Lions have a lot of capital to go with. You know, they could trade a first rounder and second rounder and next year's first round pick. You know, we're good now. We're not in that top 5 anymore. We spent years there in the top 5. Now we're at 28, and I got a good pick at 28 for them, but for the needs. But Abdul Carter for Cleveland would be awesome. Okay, you got Myles Garrett. He would have another brother, and that would be an awesome pairing for Cleveland. I'll tell you what. Number 3, you got the New York Football Giants, and they're the ones who are going to grab Travis Hunter out of Colorado, a cornerback and a wide receiver. So I don't know how many teams would take him in the pros and use him on both sides of the line. I think the Giants would. I think the Giants would because you have both. You know, the kid's talented. You know, you got the New York Football Giants. You got Travis, and Sam Darnold. You got quarterbacks going there, what have you. I think as a great edge rusher, he would be. I mean, I'm sorry, as a just a good one there. Cornerback and wide receiver. Wide receiver probably more what would be he'd be used at with the New York Giants. This is interesting too. Now we come up on number 4, and it's New England. All right, they've been doing a whole bunch of new things there at New England, and I can see them easily going for the pick I got for them. A tackle, Will Campbell out of Louisiana State University down there. LSU and Baton Rouge, folks. And this guy is just a monster on the line. I don't think it even matters if he did left or right tackle. Either way, the man is talented. He's big, and I think he would go for them. Will Campbell, big, strong guy. LSU has been known for big boys on the lines, in the trenches, and this one's no exception whatsoever. At number 5, Jacksonville. Now, Jacksonville, here comes the first one out of Michigan. There's a lot of Michigan picks in here. And I think this guy would be fantastic for Jacksonville because you need some defense there. Mason Graham. I'm picking Mason Graham from the Blue, from Michigan, defensive lineman, and you saw nothing but good out of him all year. That game against Ohio State, that line was good. And that was a real surprise. I was surprised. I really was. Remember that Ohio State's favored by 22 points, and Michigan takes them. And everybody had Ohio State creaming Michigan. Ryan Day could finally break the spell. Well, sorry, folks, it's not there anymore. You're the world champions right now in football, but you couldn't beat the champs, and that makes it a 0 in my book, just like Ohio State is anyway. So we'll just go with that. Mason Graham from Michigan goes to Jacksonville. We keep talking about Mason Graham is just a great runner. Now this is a big one too because this is one of my for sure's needs. You have the Raiders, all right. I still call them the Oakland Raiders. I don't care about Vegas. Oakland Raiders going for running back Ashton Jeanty from Boise State. This guy's off the board. This is another Jahmyr Gibbs. This guy right here is a Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm sure he's going to break in and get the talent there, but he cuts, he runs, he's fast, strong on the line, and you've got to have a good O-line. And I think that's the only thing I would worry about with Oakland is their O-line. The Raiders are going to try to be good. I hope he doesn't get smashed up too bad. But excuse me. But you got him from Boise State. Of them with the Statue of Liberty play over Oklahoma is still one of the best plays we ever saw in football. That was an outstanding game. That was great. So we got him there, Ashton Jeanty. Now, the Jets, we got a great cornerback from them. DJ Reed came to the Detroit Lions in free agency. They still have Sauce Gardner, but I have them picking Armand Marienborough from Missouri as a tackle. Nice big boy. And they knew need that line. The quarterbacks hadn't been protected very well there. Another tackle just wouldn't hurt. This is a big man, Armand Marienborough. I'm pronouncing the names right. Some of them escape me. For the Jets, big tackle, 6'7", 310 pounds, from Missouri. Missouri's bringing him up now lately. Missouri's had some good teams, so we'll see on that. And that's my pick at number 7. Number 8, you got the Carolina Panthers, and you've got McMillan, wide receiver out of Arizona, and they've got a good pick there. They need picks at Carolina. They've had their problems lately, and they just don't scare anybody. You've got to start getting good players to scare anybody, and they have some nerves going on, So those are the 1 through 8 picks, and I don't see it bad at all. He went to U of A, played very good all year, so he's just kind of rocking right out right there. I don't see any slack as far as that goes. I think he'll transform to the pros very, very well. Quick updates here. Back to the games. We got Tampa Bay over Detroit in the third period, 17-11. I don't know if there's 3-2. They're playing him good there. 17-11 back in the third. 113-106 in the fourth. It's now 117. Wow, 117-111 with 2 minutes 30 seconds left, and they're at home in the Pistons. They've got to come back now, and they just might do that. Let's see what happens here in the final 2 minutes of that game. They'll probably call plenty of timeouts on that one. Then you got, it's 1-0 Minnesota in the bottom of the fourth, and that's 1-0, and they got a run in the bottom of the second there. And you still have Olsen's pitching, and he's doing okay, 2 Ks, pitched 4 full innings, but they have they just went out. All right, so now we're going to the top of the fifth. We'll keep you updated on that, I promise. All 3 games look good. The Pistons, I want to win, though. I want the Pistons to make a mark. And, of course, the Red Wings having a tough time. I don't see them making the playoffs, doing anything like that. I don't. I really want them to really bad. I haven't mentioned Michigan State. We'll be talking spring football soon. But right now, I want to get through all the pros and the draft. I'm going to take a couple of quick minutes, hit the little boys' room, and I also have to take a phone call. So please give me a moment. I'll be right back, and we'll get right back to work. Mm. This is fun doing a podcast. You got 3 games going on. Okay, let's get back to work here. We're doing our mock of the first round, a nice quiet one. Now, Sunday, I'm going to do my whole show with trades. I want to do a mock draft with trades. Okay, and then what we're going to do is keep it going next week. Then a week from Thursday, we're at Detroit Corner Grill. I'll be live doing the first round right there at the grill. Plenty of good food, as you know, and a lot of good Detroit Lions company always hanging out there, which we love so much. Okay, and to say hello to some more of my subscribers before we get started with pick number 9. Okay, you have Mobile at Arrowhead BMW. He'll be live on my regular radio show tomorrow, the Shoeshine Mike Radio Hour, every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on 1100, the Pulse of Arizona, 1100 a.m. And myself, Chet Reynolds, and Mo Bell be there talking about the Masters, talking about the draft, talking about all these other teams that play also with the NBA. We got a lot of busy work to do tomorrow, so we're going to have a lot of fun doing that. But we'll have Mo Bell on. Cole Otterman at Arrowhead BMW. I'm going to talk about they're the people who sponsor my regular radio show. I've known everybody on this list for a long time. Okay, I've been doing Shoes in the Valley now, Shiny Shoes in the Valley for 20 years. I know a lot of people. I run into a lot of people as I go along because I've just known them all so long. So this is really cool to talk about this. But let's talk about Mobile. Yep, we got Cole Otterman. Now Cole is the manager of the internet area of Arrowhead BMW. He's the manager. He knows all that about internet. So if you want to buy a car on internet or you want to buy a regular car, This is a very solid, steady man, and he's still upset that Duke did not make the finals. His number is 309 339 1844. 309 339 1844. Then we have Russ Smith. Now, Russ he's a Jersey guy. He is straightforward, but he knows his stuff. He knows those cars inside and out. The test drive is excellent, right? Take a BMW for a test ride with Russ Smith. Make an appointment, okay, and give him a call and set up because it's a destination dealership. This is a place where people know what car they want, okay? BMW doesn't fool around. They've always been good, and we know that. So please give Russ a call. He's at 623-386-9200. 623-386-9200. He's just a good guy. Eric Barrera, a very solid down earth kind of mind, but just a cool guy. You know what I mean? Just a good, cool guy. Someone that will sit there and talk with you. You know, he'll talk with you, find out what you need, and go to your needs. He'll take good care of you. And he's such a good friend. He's so easygoing. You know, Eric Barrera. And he's at 480-486-4270. Make sure anytime you call anybody, you mention the Shoe Shine Mike. All right? The podcast Lions of the Desert or the radio show, doesn't matter. But tell them old Shoe Shine Mike told you to call them. They're very good at that, doing that. And Eric, once more time, 480-486-4270. Just an easygoing guy. Just somebody you really want on your side. And always double checks to make sure everything is right. After the sale, before the sale, during the sale, everything. He wants things done right. So does Paul Kettner, another friend of mine who's got like probably one of the coolest shoe collections I've ever seen in my life. I've been doing his shoes quite a while. And he's a smart guy. He always wears a different pair because you can wear your shoes out if you don't wash on that. Paul Kettner knows his business well, and just so easy going to get along with. Give Paul a good call at 480-334-8878. 480-334-8878. You can always give me a call at Lions of the Desert Podcast. Give me a text, and we can take care of it. If you have someone that you've heard and weren't able pretty much to catch them, make sure you get a hold of Lions of the Desert Podcast and send me a PM, and I'll make sure you get that done. Okay, let's get back to work on our draft. Okay, we were at number 9. We got the New Orleans Saints at number 9. And I see them going for with Mr. Warren. Tyler Warren is a tight end out of Penn State. This is a good pick for New Orleans. I mean, they've always had good tight ends down there. And I think I can see that going on because the Saints are in kind of a squabble down there. They've always been good for a long, long time. And yeah, Peyton is gone. All your people are gone. But I mean, I would still see Tyler Warren as being a big part because he's a big part of that Penn State team. I see a good pick for the Saints with Tyler Warren. We get to the enemies, the Chicago Bears, Dub Bears, and they're at number 10. Now, they're taking an edge rusher, right? We've already been through a couple of edges already here. This is like edge number 3 going through. From Marshall University, Mike Green. I like Mike Green. I wherever he ends up, he's going to be very, very good. He's an animal. I've heard there are rumors of personal issues, and we'll see how that's dealt with as we go along. But as far as I'm concerned, the Bears need an edge. They need some good trench work, right? And you got Ben Johnson in there now from the Lions, and he's been working on that pretty good. You know, he knows trenches. Look what he did with the Detroit Lions. Got the O-line from heaven. And I think he'll be all right with the Bears. It's going to take a little learning process, and I hope the owners don't overdo him. All right, the general manager's good, but I hope the owners don't get in the way as far as money. So you got Mike Green from Marshall for the Bears at number 10. The San Francisco 49ers. Okay. They're going for a cornerback, I would say. And I picked Jahdae Barrow from Texas. I watched him play during the playoffs, and especially when he was playing Arizona State, and it just outstanding cornerback. I could see him with many good teams, though. He'd be very good with a whole bunch of folks. So you got Jahdae Barrow from Texas for the Niners at number 11. Number 12. All right, I'm done with the Dallas Cowboys. The only thing that's ever going to fix the Dallas Cowboys is if Jerry Jones, the owner, fires Jerry Jones, the general manager. That's it, folks. That's the only way I think that team's ever going to improve. Haven't been in the playoffs since '92. They keep calling themselves America's team, which is no, that's the Detroit Lions now. We're America's team. We always had the highest viewage of any team last year. Number one, everybody wanted to watch the Lions because they like them now, and they want us to go. As not as bad as we Lions fans who've been suffering for quite a while, to say the least. And did I ever tell you the story about I was applying for a job? It was in New Orleans, applying for a job as a bartender. And it was a line on that application. It said, "Are you a loyal person?" And I wrote down, "I'm a Detroit Lions fan." And you could hear him laughing in the back. I knew that's what it was. And the guy came out and said, "Lions, really?" I said, "Yeah, well, he's Vikings, I'm Bears, this one's Packers. You fit right in. You're hired." They liked the sense of humor. And it was kind of a downer, being the worst team in football at that time, but that's the way things were at that time. So, yeah, that was just kind of a thing. So Dallas, now let's get back to work. Luther Burden, a third, out of Missouri, a wide receiver. They need help down there. I don't know, Dak. Let's see how Dak does this year. But he needs a good wide receiver. He just does. He needs somebody else out there. All right. And so there's your pick for number 12 for Dallas. Number 13, you got Miami. Now here comes another blue. Cornerback Will Johnson for the Miami Dolphins. Excellent pick for Miami. An absolute excellent pick. The coach is good. Tia's got to get it more going on, but their defense has been hurting a little bit lately, right? So let's get that defense in there and have them rocking along. It's just so major. It's just so major for them right now. And it's a very good pick. You could argue he'd go anywhere and be good, which is true. He'd go, any team would pick him, and he'd be outstanding at that team. So I'm looking at it that way. God, what a pick. Will Johnson from Michigan going there. And at number 14 up here, you got the Colts. Now, here's another edge rusher, and this is one that everybody in the Lions, everyone was picking James Pierce out of Tennessee, and I don't think he's going to last that long. But wait till Sunday when I do the trade-ups, because I'm positive. I just feel it in my bones. Brad Holmes is going to trade up. There's somebody he wants, and he's going to get him, and it's going to be an edge. I don't know if it's going to be an edge. I don't know if it's going to be the linebacker from Ohio State, but it's going to be someone on defense that's going to make a difference. Because last week I did the free agency. We were talking about free agencies. And the cornerback room looks good. Terrion Arnold's going to be good this year. On his side, you got DJ Reed from the New York Jets taking over for Carlton Davis, who gets hurt all the time. Reed does it. Very consistent and very good. And then you got these safeties named Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph. I think we're good in the back. But in order for the back to be better, you have to have the edge rushing the quarterback. It's all there is to it. And I think the Colts, with this pick, James Preston from Tennessee, a very, very good one. Then you got Atlanta. And he's the one that's going to get the big yelling running back linebacker everyone's been talking about from Alabama, Jaid Campbell. Because if you went to Lions, that's 3 Campbells on one team. That's soup. I'm telling you right now, that's the soup bean team. But there you go with that. I like the pick. Atlanta could use a good linebacker back there, and that'd be a very good pick for them. Really would, because we're paying them this year. We get the first place teams all year, so we got Philly, we got all these people to play in, and but a good pick, I think, for Atlanta. I really do. Now, Arizona is going to be smart too. I'm picking for Arizona defensive lineman Kenneth Grant from the University of Michigan, the alma mater, as it were, the blue. A very good pick. Arizona needs more on defense, but they've been picking up some good pieces along the way, folks. They're picking up good pieces, and I see it better and better. Their free agency was good, and I like the coach. I like Gannon. So I'm looking at Kenneth Grant from the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, of course, the blue as a defensive lineman. That would be very, very good for them. At pick number 17. All right, this one's going to be good. Pick number 17, Cincinnati is taking Stacks, Mekhi Stacks from Georgia. You're going to see a lot of Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, LSU, the big schools, the good schools, Penn State. They're all right in there. Now, he's a safety, a very good safety from Georgia. I watched all the playoff games. I watched Georgia. He's going to be very, very good in the pros. Your first round, and I've heard this before, and I believe it too, First round is somebody you want to put right on the field to fix the immediate need that you're drafting them for. Boom. That's it in a nutshell. The only one I could see having a hard time, I could see Cam Ward having a hard time with the Titans, going right on the floor. Abdul Carter, no problem whatsoever. You get your certain people that are on defense and offense. Tyler Warren, tight end from Saints. It's not Mike Green, edge rusher for the Bears. He won't have a problem there. Luther Burden is a wide receiver for Dallas. He won't if the O-line holds up for Dallas and they can get it out to him. So you're looking at Kenneth Grant, defensive lineman at for Arizona, out of blue. No, you're looking at good players up there that can make an immediate impact. The best immediate impact, 2023, Aiden Hutchinson, edge rusher out of Michigan. We all know that. It's one of the best impacts. I know that when we did that draft, 2023 draft, and you had all the pundits on all the shows going, wait, whoa, what's this Jamar Gibbs? That's a poor quality. Jack Campbell, that's poor quality, right? Sam Laporta, oh, that's just poor quality. Hendon Hooker, Brian Branch, what a draft. Brad Holmes has got such a gift for drafting, and that's why I don't worry. But I do still think I could see him trading up. He's not afraid to do anything in the draft. He traded up to get Jameson Williams, and there were a few problems, but look at him now. Look at that beautiful run against the Washington Redskins. That was insane. All right, so we got Mikey Stacks. I go back to my Lions anytime I get a chance because I just love my Lions. Out of Georgia, going to Cincinnati to safety. All right, now, Seattle at 18. They need receivers on that team, okay? And Geno Smith is gone. They're getting people as best they can. But Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State, I have to say, I'll say them. Them will be sending Seattle a wide receiver at number 18, Egbuka. At 19. Now, here goes another blue because you got, what am I doing here? Oh, there we go. Tampa Bay. I kind of abbreviate every now and then and I have to take a step back. But Tampa Bay, the tight end, Colston Leveland from the University of Michigan. A lot of blue going. Colston Leveland will make them rich. I think Tampa Bay that's a missing piece in the offense that they do need. I'm sincere when I say that. That's a good piece for Tampa Bay. Colston Leveland, tight end from the University of Michigan, goes to Tampa Bay at number 19. And this is an interesting one, too. Denver Broncos are next at number 20. Running back, Barron, I can't pronounce his last name, from North Carolina. It's just an interesting name. Hagalibu or something like that. I'm sorry, but I can't pronounce that last name. But Amrarian, going to Denver, a running back who's just lights out, a running back out of North Carolina. He really is that good. Forgive me, and I'll do better at the pronunciations. I'll do a little more studying on that. And he'll do great with Denver at 21. Pittsburgh Steelers, and here he finally goes. Deion's little boy, Sheldon Sanders. I'll pick him as quarterback for the Steelers. They need a quarterback. He's out of Colorado. The one thing I like about the kid, he doesn't get phased in the line. I've watched him at Colorado. He doesn't get phased. He throws an accurate ball. He can throw the long ball. He can take off if needed. This is a good pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers, of which I have many friends who are Steelers fans here in Arizona. A very good pick for him. Okay, we're at number 21. We'll finish off this round here. San Diego Chargers are at 22. We're coming into all the good teams now and their picks. Now, I'll be honest. I call save picks 25 to 32 the luxury picks. These are people who've been in the playoffs last year. They're missing one piece. They can afford trading up. They can pick whoever the heck they want, and they know it's going to fit right into their team, right? Wait till we get to 28, the Detroit Lions, and I promise you we'll do good on that. But these are people who are good. I've got San Diego and Jim Harbaugh and everybody else looking forward to play with Walter Nolan out of Mississippi. Defensive lineman. I think he likes blood. I do. I think the guy just hits people and loves to hit, and that's what you want out of a defensive lineman. It's kind of like a Lee McNeil for the Lions. He'll be probably ready, hopefully, by this season. If not, we got some people in that line there that can hold it out. But I'm looking at Walter Nolan, the defensive lineman out of San Diego. He went to Mississippi. He was a star in Mississippi and doing very, very good. Now we're at 22. I'm going to come back in a minute because I have a couple of things to check out. I'm going to check on the scores for the other games here right now first, and then I want to take a quick break. In the third period, it's still 3-2. Let's check that out. It's 3-3. All right. Red Wings. 3 minutes to go. It's an overtime. See what they do. 3-3. They're like, oh, Patrick Kane, got the shot. So we'll see what happens with that. That's awesome. 3-3 in overtime. Tampa Bay Lightning, the Detroit Red Wings. And let's see what's happening here. It's 125-119, a final, Milwaukee over Detroit. They have one more game left, and that's also over Milwaukee. So that's okay, though. It makes them 44-37. Look, last year they won 14 games. They got 30 more games than the 14 games they won last year. The Pistons are the story of the year. J.D. Birkenstaff is coach of the year. I don't care. You want Cinderella? Cinderella's name is the Detroit Pistons. That's what's happening this year. And I'm standing by that one. Hope I stand long enough to not fall. All right. And then let's go back. Where are we with the Tigers and the Twins? And it is 2-1, bottom of the fifth, Minnesota over Detroit. So, okay. Let's see how the Tigers, if I can catch that at all. Can't. Okay, but I can't see how they scored the run. But they have men on first and thirds, Minnesota with one out. And let's see how they do. They're 4-9. The Tigers are 7-5. Plenty of time left in this game. A one-run lead by an opposing team is nothing to the Tigers. They come back. Torque will get in there, and I promise you, Torque ought to do something with it because I just love Torkelson the way he's playing right now. So those are upskated, no sores. Quick break for me. I promise I'll be right back. Get some more coffee. And ain't this a whole lot of fun right now? Mm-hmm. August through November. August through October. Yeah, because I buy the ads for that. Okay. Here we are back. Sorry, talking to myself there, getting things together a little bit here. We'll start out now. We are at number 21. And no, we're at 22. 23, we're at 23. Okay, we're at 23. And then I'm going to do a little more shout outs here. I got QB Development in Scottsdale. All right. This is a beautiful faith-based company. They do all kinds of their licensed, bonded, insured, KB1 licensed, residential, commercial development, quality builders, QB, quality builders, and they do everything. They can remodel an entire store. They can add on to a store. They can add on to a house. These guys are a very good development company. You give them a call, come down and meet with Barty or Brad, and they'll sit down with you, talk about you. Talk about what you want in your development, in your project you have in mind, right? Commercial or residential, all right? A project you have in mind. You tell them Shoeshine Mike sent you, and they'll smile. And they're just so good at what they do. Give them a call. QB Development, Quality Builders, 602-830-9755. 602-830-9755. All my subscribers, to the best of my ability, I will have them down at Detroit Coney Grill. And we will, of course, talk about their business. We'll talk about what's going on with football. And these guys talk great football. I am the person who does pick sports fans. Sports fans for subscribers, because it is a sports show. And it's one that we really like and go for. Let's do a quick update on our Detroit boys tonight on all the games. You got 4-1 Minnesota in the bottom of the fifth. They're blowing them right out. Okay, bottom of the fifth. Still comeback ability in that one. The Pistons lost. Yeah, the Pistons lost to Minnesota. Wow. That's not nice. Okay, let's go back to everybody. And then, where's Tampa Bay? They were in final overtime, 4-3, the Detroit Red Wings. All right. Okay. Patrick Kane with the goal. I love it. Patrick Kane with the goal, period 4, overtime. Marco Kasper scored a winning goal in overtime when it was 3 minutes, 22 seconds, and it's 4-3. The Detroit Red Wings, the record now, 37-35, 7 overtime losses. And that was good to see that we got a little something out of there, and I'll tell you what, our goalie, defenseman Sider, 4.0 grades. All right, let's look over a little bit more. That's it. All right, so the Red Wings got a win. The Tigers are losing 4-1 in the bottom of the fifth inning in Minnesota, and the Pistons lost to Milwaukee. So we can continue on with our fun here. And let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll go back. We'll go back and do some more. Let me do a couple of more shout outs here real quick, if I may. I go a little fast when I do things. I try not to, but I also want to give the news, but I also love my subscribers, so we'll take care of them also. Okay. Over at Chapman VW, over there, Indian School and Pima. And you come up the 101 freeway, get off at Indian School. It's right there. It's right there, and you can see it right in front of you. So go in and see VW. CVW, the 94D, great car. They got 14D. They have a great car going there now. Lester Perales, and he wants to make it. He's speaking de Espanol, so Spanish speaking. If you want to see a car and see somebody and speak fluently, Lester is just a wonderful man. He's just a really good guy. Faith-based. We love our chats and talking, and he's ready to sell you a good VW. See if he got the old vans like we were hippies back in my day. And you give him a call at 480-424-3560. 480-424-3560. And Nettie Davenport, right next to him there. They're a team. They work so well together. But Nettie on her own, just a great lady. Just a cool lady. And takes the time. Totally explains everything you need to know in your car buying deal. Buying a car is a big deal. You've got to have the good people there to be right with you. And Nettie is that person. Okay. Give her a call also at 520-213-1421. 520-213-1421. Both wonderful people. You can't go wrong with that. Let's get back to the draft now. Here we go. All right, now we did Colin Loveland and Sanders and Nolan. All right, we were at the Green Bay Packers, and they decided on an edge from Boston College. A lot of people like this guy, Donovan Ezekoroka. Ezekoroka. Got it. All right. Donovan Ezekoroka from Boston College. Very big man. Very big man. Edge rusher, but he carries that weight. Just like DeVito said, you got to carry that weight, baby. And he just goes right through that line. I've watched Boston College play this year. They're one of my teams that I just enjoy watching them play. The Packers, okay, they've done good. And another edge rusher for the Packers. They'll do well with that. At number 24, it's Minnesota. Minnesota taking a linebacker, all right? Taylor Walker out of Georgia. Good pick. Like I said, we're at the bottom of the ladder now. These are teams been winning, except Minnesota, had to go to fifth in the playoffs. But we see that. Linebacker, number 24, Minnesota, Taylor Walker. That's my call on that one. I hope I'm close. I'll be doing a review of it, of course, and after the draft to see if we got that right. Then Minnesota. Then we go to Texas, the Texans, all right, Houston. They're going with Kevin Banks. He's a tackle, and it's a good call. They need the O-line, a tackle. I think he's a left tackle out of Texas. I've watched him play. He's a tough guy. He's a tough guy. That's a great pick for them. That's really a good pick. Okay. At number 26, the Chargers. Okay. Jim Harbaugh country. Jim Harbaugh loves his wide receivers. He loves tight ends most of all, but he's going to pick a wide receiver. He's going to get Matthew Golden, also from Texas. Matthew Golden is a good, solid receiver. Good hands, runs good routes. This is going to be a good pickup for the Chargers. And Mr. Hebert's going to like it a whole lot too. This is a good pick for the Texans at number 26. At number 27, we got the Baltimore Ravens. Another edge, Michael Williams out of Georgia. And, this is a very deep, good. This is great for the trenches, this draft right now. I've looked over all these players, a lot of players, and these are my picks. And everybody needs an edge player. Okay, these are the ones that they're going with now. And you got Michael Williams. I swear to God, that's a good pick for Baltimore. They need edge. They've been having a little bit of problems with their defense this year. Everybody knows that, but that makes a good edge rusher, like Hutch. Those are just great to have. You've got to have a good edge rusher, and I think Michael Williams is really a good pick. Right, we're coming up right before we get to our little Leos. Let me do a couple more calls here. I'm going to go to Chapman Hyundai. That's over there also off the 101 freeway in Indian School Road. Sean Sakari. Sean's stuck with me. We've been friends for a long time. He loves football. And Sean also loves cars. This is a car guy. This is one that's going to spend his life in the car business. You can just feel it. He'll promote himself all the way up through the ranks. He'll go finance. Then he'll go the general sales manager, general manager. I'm promising you, this guy is very, very good and very, very motivated person and a great shoe collection. Guy can pull off some kicks. Sean Sakari, give him a call, please, at 602-358-3206. 602-358-3206. Then you got Dan McClare. Dan McClare is just a pro. He's been in the business for quite a while. He knows his stuff backwards, forwards, inside out. I'm telling you. And just an easy guy to get along with. Dan's very good. I would suggest giving Dan a call at 919-348-6354. 919-348-6354. And then one of my favorite guys on earth, Maurice Bembry. Maurice is a jiu-jitsu dude, right? And he has a lot of events. He's very successful at it, right? And built like the house, right? Built like the house, but so easygoing. Just one of those wonderful guys, easygoing. Talk to him about his wrestling. He'll love you. Also talk to him about a Hyundai. He's got good cars out there at Chapman Hyundai. A lot of good people. You got Andres Lassa, who shared a sports show with me last year. Matthew Burgess. A lot of good guys up there. Give him a call, please, at 824-8035. Maurice Membry, 602-824-8035. Now let's go to the Leos. I did a lot of work on what the Lions did. You heard my Lions draft last week. Now, I had James Pierce as our pick at number 28, edge rusher. I think he's going to go before that. But I really, really like the guy that I'm calling right now. And this is the one I really hope they get to partner up with Aiden Hutchinson. Shamir Stewart. Shamir Stewart from Texas A&M, edge rusher. Big, strong, solid. And what have all the broadcasters and people in the business been saying lately? He's a Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes kind of guy. It's for the team. It's all the blood. Shamir Stewart, mark my words. If he's there, the Detroit Lions will pick him up. They're very good at drafting. We all know Brad Holmes is a draft genius. He's proved it. Look at what the Lions have done in the last 4 years. It's insane, right? It's just insane. And we want the Lombardi in Detroit, Michigan. We truly do. Last year, they had the draft. Total of 775,000 people in downtown Detroit having a wonderful time. Good and safe. Very happy. A great production by the city and the Lions. Just awesome. A wonderful draft. It's such a good time. But there he is, Shamir Stewart, Texas A&M, the new Detroit Lions rush. Now, here we go. The Washington Commanders take the other guy from Texas A&M, Nick Scurton. He's an edge rusher. The Washington Redskins will pick him up at number 29. Also from Texas A&M, two peas in a pod, Scurton and Stewart. I mean, you saw that when Texas A&M was playing, they had it together. The offense was a little itchy, and that's why they didn't make it. But I tell you what, that defense was good with those two boys in there. And then we'll go to Buffalo. We're coming down to the end of it here. At pick number 30, the Buffalo Bills select Nick Immanuwari. There we go. Out of South Carolina. Oh, my goodness. A big safety, a good guy, and a solid safety. I watch him play. I won't put him in the same as Brian Branch, but I can see him like a Kirby Joseph as a safety. He's a ball hawk. He goes after his head. 8 interceptions last year and 28 tackles. That's pretty good for a safety in college ball, especially South Carolina. They're in Death Valley. So number 30, Buffalo takes Nick Immanuwari. All right, it's South Carolina. At 31, Kansas City. Now, they're going to those people down south, Ohio State, and they're picking a tackle. The last two are tackles. When you're in the Super Bowl, you look to protect the quarterback. He's getting Josh Simmons out of Ohio State. And I'll tell you what, he's the one who gave us trouble in that win last year against Ohio State. Josh Simmons is a good pick. And then I like this pick. I really like this pick. This guy is probably going to take some work, but he's a rookie, and you can break him in. From North Dakota State, all right, I got Trey Zahil. He's a tackle. Philly will pick him. They need tackles, but this kid, I think, is going to be a star in the National Football League at pick number 32. Because you watch North Dakota State. They had a good team this year. They won that conference up there, up in beautiful Bismarck. Bismarck, North Dakota. My sister lives in South Dakota, so forgive me on that. And you got a guy that's just going to pull the whole thing through. Now I was talking about my picks on the draft for the Lions. I'm going to do one more little shout out to some subscribers here. I'm getting a lot of new subscribers, so I'll try to be as possible with them, honest and good, because they are honest and good. From Wright Honda up on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, 78th Street. You got Gibby, my man Gibby. That's what we call him. Gibby is a really good friend, and I can't say enough about him. I've known him for 20 years, doing the work that I do. He knows his cars. He's a star up there at Wright Honda. He's a star. So give him a call at 480-778-2440. 480-778-2440. And along with Rocky, his main partner in the universe, good guys, they partner up together. Same number, 480-778-2440. Rocky is just a mellow, good guy. Just a mellow, good guy. He's what I would call the deadheads of the car business. He's so easygoing, talks so smoothly, talks, just nice, just really a solid guy. And I love them both. Gibby or Rocky at 480-778-2440. Last but certainly not least, Hunter Bridgman. Now, I've only just recently met Hunter. He's ambitious. He's a tall, good-looking kid. Looks good in the car business, but I know he's ambitious in the business itself. So he's one of those that are studying like no one's business, the ins and outs of everything you need to know about a Honda. His favorite car to talk about is the Pilot. The Honda Pilot is a great car. My sister has one. She will not drive anything else in her life. She promised me that. And we'll see what happens with that. Give Hunter Bridgman a call, a solid, good man, at 614-974-8770. 614-974-8770. Just a solid, good guy. And I tell you what, you just couldn't do better if you tried. You just couldn't do better if you tried it. And finding somebody who's just that good. Okay, these are all good people that I've given you talks about. We'll finish up with Detroit Coney Grill in just a moment. Give me 1 second here. 1 second. Make it 2. Now, what I wanted to do too. Now, I didn't pick James Pierce in our first pick, and I'm still of the mind that it's going to be Stewart being picked on number 28. But here are my other picks I did have because I like them. Now at number 60, let's see, Joshua Stewart, edge for Michigan. Now he played a lot. Going at that quarterback at Ohio State. That's a nice pick at an edge. I think Michigan's going to take 2 edges this year. I hope they do. Then you've got an offensive guard from North Carolina, Willie Lampkin, going at 102. Tony Horton, wide receiver, Colorado State, at number 130, a wide receiver, and just looks good. Now, Tim Patrick did resign, so he'll be out there roaming around, and he'll be doing it very well. And then, let's see, tight end, Colin Dakota, tight end, Ole Miss, all right, 6.5 feet tall, 6 feet, 6 inches. Looks like he'd be very, very good. The safety out of Clement, I still like RJ Mickens, right? And we could use backup and safety. Now, we need backups after what happened with all the injuries last year. So I think that's a good call. And then the other one, I like at 244, and he's going to develop. He's going to be good. Ty Robinson. He's a defensive end from Nebraska. You could see him doing well and doing very well. I'm going to finish with this tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 1, thank you to all my subscribers. Hit that button. Say subscribe. Say like. Do whatever you want to do. It just makes me feel wonderful. And then let's go on with the fact that April 24th, it's a Thursday night. First round of the draft. The draft starts at 5. I will be at Detroit Coney Grill, 6853 North Hayden Road, just south of Indian Bend. And I will be there at 4 o'clock, get set up, all ready to go. Get my Faygo Rock and Rye, my cowboy burger and chili cheese fries, which I'm known to spoil myself with. I love good food. You will love it too. All right. So I will do this. I hope to see you live. I hope you have a good time. To everybody who listens to this show, this podcast, I appreciate it. I truly do. And then we'll see you Sunday morning. All right. Now Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, whatever time works, probably 11. But I want to do my mock draft with trades, and I've got the Lions making a trade. I promise you that right now, and it looks to me like it'll be a good one. Have a good night. Shoeshine Mike signing out. Lions of the Desert podcast. Be good kids. Bye-bye.